These are the tolerable limits in terms of carbon emissions for certain sectors. So I am into logistics sector. So are there any tolerable benchmarks set for all three scopes? Where I can evaluate my performance and should understand that these where I am and where I want to go.
So as far as SEBI is concerned, no benchmarks. Even in financial space, so these are not financial disclosures. Even in financial space, there is no benchmark. We have not said कि this is the benchmark. इससे ज़्यादा होगा तो you are a profitable company, very good company. इससे कम है तो you are not a good company. So we are not, and you are benchmarked against your peers. Now, but what we understand is, again, when you go for an industry license, there are benchmarks by PUC. Your emission should be this much or different things. So, benchmarks, if ever said, would be by that relevant ministry and not by SEBI.
Yeah, Mr. Ganguly.
Yeah, just to add to that, in fact, what we had done in Varrock is we have actually benchmarked ourselves year-on-year basis, and we evaluate the performance curve accordingly, and the ESG and BRSR framework is being dealt with an inside to out approach and not the other way around, and therein lies the inherent benefit, by adopting these principles. So what I try to say here is, it's us, as individuals, as company leaders, to have our own targets set, which of course should be much more stringent than what government mandates, and only then can we, improve in this regard.
So I think this is a good response, is that you can benchmark yourselves against your own performance as of, say, yesterday. And what are you trying to achieve in terms of performance improvement? But it's a very good question. I do feel that as we have democratization of data, you will have industry bodies and consultants probably coming in, because we have tried to publish benchmarking reports. Some places, I can say hand on heart, we've been successful. Some places we just did not have enough data to progress with that analysis, right? So once the democratization of data happens, and I'm going to wait for Mr. Srikumar to give us those solutions, then what happens is the benchmarking becomes credible, right? Everybody is reporting on the same standard. Then whatever benchmarks even consultants develop and throw it into the industry or provide to the industry, they become credible. So today you're right, there are no benchmarks available. And maybe there are, I should not talk ahead of myself for the warehousing sector, but they may not be, what I want to say. So I think he's given a good solution, is just continually improve your own performance year on year as well. Yeah.
I would like to just add a minor point here, specifically for the warehousing one, because like the GRESB, which is the Global Real Sustainability Benchmark, so there you have global as well as Asia Pacific ones, but I don't think there can be a direct comparison of an asset that's here in India versus an asset even in Singapore or other Asia Pacific assets. But those numbers can definitely give you a good range in terms of to target that per square feet in terms of your energy or water or even the waste in the intensity numbers. So it will be good range for you to look at. And like Varrock's example, I think it's also important to really understand that has your baseline performance changed? Is your year-to-year specific intensity values changing, and what are the factors contributing to it? And then internally, it will be good exercise to look at the Indian peers, because most of these numbers are available in public domain, and to do like a quick benchmarking within the Indian sector as well, and then you'll know where you stand.
Can I have?
Yes.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, we can do much more than benchmarking. It is quite possible that the people whom you benchmark are not as good as you. What do you do? Whereas there are ways to improve by yourself. I can give you an example from our own factory. We have an electronics factory in Goa. The head of the factory was telling me only yesterday. He says he was excited to share because I was leading that factory in the past, so he was trying to impress me with improvements he is making. So what he said is, in the factory we have a the devices undergo a kind of temperature cycle test. Yeah, so that if you deliver the device, it should survive the, let's say, extremities of the temperature. So we have a heat room where you put these devices, heat it to high temperatures, and then let's say 24 hours or 48 hours depending upon. So when we implemented, let's say, systems which I mentioned before, where we could get more granular data, so he could now see where he is consuming more energy day by day. So then he saw in some days when there is not much load, there is one place where consumption is still high. And when you look at more and more, then you realize that the heat room is giving you a lot of consumption, whereas it was not really occupied fully. And now they decided, okay, out of the 7 working days in a week, I don't need to use it for all the days because you can batch it and put it in one of the days. And then significantly reduce the consumption. Not benchmarking with anything else. So my point is transparency and let's say, and good transparent systems will tell you where to look at. It will show you patterns. And when you have more autonomous systems, it could also help you with insights which guide you. Look, if you have a cooling system, your chiller are not working at its optimum. So, I mean, that's why I said, I come back again and again, go back to our booth. They will show you a system which will tell you that these chillers have a rated efficiency which is significantly higher, and you could push this up by sharing load better, optimizing, let's say, water cycles better, so on and so forth, so many things. So, more than benchmarking, it is important that the system which you have helps you to become the best you already have. Yeah, that's how I say. I'm not against benchmarking, but I think you can do much more than benchmarking.